For my discourse community, I chose the AMHR ASPC Miniature Horse and Pony Showing Registry. AMHR stands for American Miniature Horse Registry, and ASPC stands for the American Shetland Pony Club. They are very similar, so I just kind of combined them together for my project. And I will be interviewing my friend Elise, who has been showing miniature horses with me for years. For my first question, in what ways are you part of the AMHR ASPC discourse community?
I'm part of the AMHR and ASPC registry, which means I'm a registered member. I participate in a lot of events that they host. I go to as many horse shows as possible. I show ponies, I train ponies, and I talk to a lot of members in those programs too.
How long have you been in the organization?
I've been in the organization for 9 years. It's been quite a long and extensive experience for me. I've got 6 horses of my own right now, and I show 2 client horses that I've trained and worked with for a long time.
What got you into this organization?
An old trainer of mine actually introduced me to it when I was about 9 years old. I got my first miniature pony given to me as a birthday gift, and I didn't know that showing was a thing that you could do with miniature ponies until she actually introduced it to me.
What type of show horses do you have?
I have mini horses, I have Shetland ponies, and I have a Hackney cross pony.
What disciplines do you show with your horses?
I have shown quite a few disciplines. I've done CPD, WCPD, roadster, halter, and jumpers, I think, for now. And that's about a third of the disciplines that they offer.
So what CPD is it's country pleasure driving, which is where they have a medium headset and big extensive movement that does not go higher than their chest. Western, you want the head to be level with the back and long sweepy motion. Pleasure, which was not mentioned, you want a very high headset and the movement to come up above their chest at the trot, which is 1 speed faster than the walk. And Roadster is pretty much NASCAR with ponies, it's just speed and big movement. The jumpers is speed and height. The hunters, which was not mentioned, is how pretty you look. And halter is like a beauty pageant for a horse. And my next question for you is, how have specific disciplines you've shown affected your position in the community?
Well, different trainers, breeders, and different shows are associated with you showing different disciplines. I've kind of ended up with a group of friends and acquaintances and a community that tend to do similar disciplines that I do. So we can all kind of do them together.
What are some of the issues you have seen come up frequently in this community?
Some frequent issues that I've seen are the height requirements, more specifically horses being too tall, horses misbehaving is a pretty common one, or trainers that are really not good for specific horses or their clients.
How do you see that these issues are resolved?
In terms of the height, horses are often remeasured. This can become a pretty big problem with horse shows. You have to make sure that your horse is in the right height division. In terms of horses misbehaving, horses are often sent to professional trainers to help deal with correctional issues. And trainers can be suspended from horse shows and events and stuff if they're seen mistreating animals.
How do people help each other in this community?
The community tends to be very supportive. People will often haul horses for the people to horse shows or events, clinics, things like that. Lend tack and equipment to people, give advice online or either in person.
In this community, in what ways do you communicate with others?
Facebook. Everybody in the community seems to be on Facebook. It's how a lot of people interact, give advice, things like that.
How does communication style affect things?
People that are not a part of Facebook or don't join the right groups or clubs and things on Facebook miss out a lot. It's where a lot of the communication happens with horses being sold, tack, horse shows, the dates, all the important announcements. So people miss out a lot that are not on Facebook.
What types of online forums are there?
There's a lot. There's some for selling horses, breeding horses, studs, tack, transportation, horse shows, the dates, kind of everything you can think of, certain discipline groups, things like that.
What specific types of language is used in this community?
The language is quite complicated. There's like general terminology that people use. People add their own like kind of forms of communication and things like that. Equestrians generally, there's like some general terms like trotting, tack, mane, things like that. And then the actual miniature horse and pony community have their own kind of language, if you will, for things like motion, build, and with certain equipment and stuff.
Is the language in this community formal or informal, typically?
It tends to be very informal. People kind of just come and go with it. Trainers talk like this, horse professionals talk like this. It's a very informal thing.
How complex is this language?
It's very complex. There's a lot to learn in a lot of different areas with the language, and it's not something that you'll just pick up right away. It's taken me years to figure it all out, and I still am learning.
How does the community communicate with other similar communities?
Facebook. Horse people absolutely adore Facebook, and a lot of it happens there.
How do these communities solve common problems?
People get together and they plan out organizations and events and show schedules and things like that, so that multiple organizations can go to as many events as possible to help with the funding and stuff.
What similar languages do the communities use?
They all use very similar languages within the equestrian equine community. If you don't know the language or the word for something, someone else's community normally does. We're pretty good at communicating.
What types of written material does this community produce?
There's memberships, like show memberships, magazines, horse show entries, things like that.
What do people in this community do?
A lot of people have jobs outside of training horses, but most people training horses is their main job or their sole income, so it's really all that they do.
What are all the aspects of this community?
There's a lot of social aspects to it, training, the horses, businesses, the winnings, breeding is a very big one.
How long do you plan on staying in this community?
As long as I can. I want to become a small-time breeder and trainer. I'd like to have a few horses that I train and show frequently. But yeah, I really do plan on staying in this community.
What are your future plans within this community?
I'd like to have 4 or 5 brood mares and 4 or 5 show horses. And build from there. So nothing too big, but I would definitely like to build on what I have.
How is knowledge shared within this community?
Once again, through Facebook. Everything is on Facebook. Middle-aged ladies seem to enjoy it, and that is the majority of people that show miniature horses.
How does the knowledge reach everyone?
Sometimes the actual organization will post information, updates, things like that. Or a member will tell someone that they know, or a trainer, a well-known trainer, and they tend to distribute information.
Great. Well, thank you for letting me interview you, and that is it.